Why, hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm here today on this Thirsty Thursday, which reminds me, mm, nothing like a cold can Coke. I'm here on this Thirsty Thursday to bring you tonight's edition of 90 Day Oy Vey. Mark, his daughter Jordan, the one that collectively pissed all of us off by trying to meddle into her father's sex life, she did a question and answer sesh on the gram. And guess what? Jazzy strikes again. So I'm going to let you guys get into the room before I hop on into it. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Deirdre. One of my trusty moderators is in here, Menopausal Queen. Hi, Shara Gomal. I know I'm probably torturing your handle, but hi, thank you for joining me. I hope you guys had a good day today. Um, Jasmine has been up to her usual social media tricks. Surprise, surprise. Let's get comfy. Hi, Susie. Thank you for joining me. So, let's hop right into this. Let's start this off in a positive manner. Okay, I want to do something different tonight. Hi, Lisa. Okay, Pat, you got it. I'm gonna call you Pat. That's a lot easier for me. Um, so I'm gonna start off this edition of Void Vein with something a little bit different. We're gonna get a happy Thursday message from John. Okay. Usually my oy veys, yes, I admit, are very, very messy and lots of gossip and drama and Jasmine drama. So I decided let me start off with something a little bit different.
Walk every morning and get in better shape, and that's not that bad. It's gonna wash my sins away. I think. I don't
Did you
know,
guys hear the
but I
video?
hope everybody's having a
Because
great
I'm
Thursday
having
morning
to
and
go.
take care.
Okay, I'm going to play that again because for some reason my mic was down. So, happy Thursday from John.
Well, happy Thursday, everybody. You know what they say? No days off. Trying to do a walk every morning and get in better shape, and that's not that bad. It's gonna wash my sins away. I think. I don't know, but I hope everybody's having a great Thursday morning and take care.
So, there you go. A little positivity. Happy Thursday message from John. Because, honestly, this 90 Day franchise has been drowning in negativity lately. And today was no different, but we're going to get into all that in a second. So, Mark's daughter, Jordan, the one that collectively pissed us off, this last couple of episodes by meddling into her father's sex life with Mina and whether or not he could have another kid. It's like she sleeps in the middle with them in bed or something. Like, okay. Anyway, so she did a question and answer sesh on the gram. And the first question she was asked was, "Hi, how is your relationship with Mina? Is it strained like how it's portrayed on 90 Day Fiance?" And she says, "Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to post or talk about how things are, quote, now just yet. But at this point in the show, we were still getting to know each other. Keep in mind, this is a reality TV show, and you've only seen one interaction so far. And this was filmed a year ago." So then she goes on to say, "I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I will admit it's been hard receiving some hate from the show. It's shocking how mean people can be on social media, but I've also received a lot of positive messages too, and I really appreciate the love and support of my family and friends. Just trying to focus on the good and live a happy life." And yes, I get it. These scenes were filmed over a year ago or so. So it's perfectly possible that her and Mina could have a great relationship now. I guess we'll see that as it develops. So someone asked her, "I completely understand your anger, but why are you taking it out on Mina when your dad is grown?" So she says, again, this is a produced TV show. They wanted me to have these conversations with Mina, not my dad. My dad and I talked about all these things too. Sometimes you can have blinders on when you're in love, and I was simply trying to voice my concerns and protect my dad. It's 100% their decision to have kids, but I feel that having kids so much later in life unfortunately means you won't be around for them as long as you like to be. I was upset in the moment, but I could have handled this situation better. You also only saw a few minutes of what was hours of filming. So then someone asked if being on 90 Day has changed her life. And she said, honestly, it hadn't changed much so far, but it has definitely affected my dad and Mina more since they are a main couple on this season. I could see that. Joan, thank you so much for your generosity. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, her brother Jordan will be appearing on a future episode. And someone asks her, what do you do? I love your outfits. I can't wait for your wedding pics. And she says, I also work in aviation, but I'm not a pilot. I get motion sick, lol. Growing up around aviation did help me find my job, though. I work remotely for a private jet management company. I've been doing that since I graduated college, so this year will be 5 years. I've always worked and provided for myself, despite what some people apparently think. Thank you all so much. So then, Mark reshared this and says, love flying with my daughter, pilot one day. So, as you guys may or may not know, Mark has his own private jet business, okay? And it is called Bassett Bassett Aviation. And you see here in the About page, it says Bassett Aviation has recently added new locations nationwide, and we are now focusing on aircraft brokerage services. Our primary mission is to assist you in your aircraft purchase and sales any way we can. Let us know what we can do for you. Bassett Aviation has also provided pilot services and aviation consulting since 2001. We strive to meet all our client needs, whether providing a captain with extensive international experience, as well as Secret Service vetting for VIP flights, or captain attendants to add comfort and safety to your flight. All this sounds fucking great, okay? So we have Mark as the head pilot, the captain. He has flown celebrities, ex presidents such as Jimmy Carter, as seen here. And also, as part of the company, as part of the staff, we have Jordan Bissett, who is an aircraft broker slash media and communication, and Jack Bissett, her brother, who is also an aircraft broker slash design and photography. So tell me if I'm smoking too much of this stuff. But Jordan just said that she has provided herself for herself since she graduated from college 5 years ago, working in her dad's company. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I'm not smoking too much of this stuff. Okay, so moving on. Mark seems to be really pushing the "we are family" narrative in his stories. He's posting all these happy pictures from Maria's baptism in Paris, which apparently was a shit show because Mina took 3 hours to get ready. But we are family. So that's what Mark is pushing. Now, moving on to other cast members, Mina posted a throwback of her pregnancy, and the woman is always cooking. Okay, she's always cooking in her stories. I said to her, girl, maybe you should do your own cookbook. Her dream is to open a restaurant. Okay, so there we go. Now, moving on to more 90 Day cast members. Poor Maddie. Poor Maddie and his mustache. But let me tell you, that scene was cracking me the fuck up. I don't know if it was because I was stoned while I was watching it, but the Maddie, oh my god, my mustache! I have a Batman mustache, cracked me the fuck up. I couldn't stop laughing. And I don't know why my joint isn't staying lit, but I couldn't stop laughing. Okay. I'm like, oh my God, poor guy. And then he was like, in America, they cut your hair where you're not facing the mirror. So when the barber swung me around and I realized what he did to my mustache, it was like, what am I going to say? Put it back? I was like, oh my God, poor Maddie. I was dying. So we have Juan and Jessica. I'm sorry. They are the vanilla couple this season. Okay. Really, really boring. Really, really vanilla. Um, Contrived. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. It looks like Jessica's trying to stop herself from laughing during half their scenes. So, yeah. Anyway, then we have the thruple, and we all know how I feel about the thruple. This is another bullshit storyline. Amani is playing a role, Matt's playing a role, and Annie's playing a role. They're all playing roles, but do you blame them? They're on 90 Day Fiance. So, Matt is showing off his daddy side. He went live and he was at one of those play parks with his kid, his two daughters, and he, showing off the softer daddy side of him. But listen to what he says about the current cast.
So yes, what I'm doing for those of you who just joined is answering some questions and answers. I for the first time, my inbox was blasted last night. I only have like 1,000 followers, so that was pretty surprising to me. Who is your favorite of the season so far? Of this season, Blend, please answer me. Of the season so far, I mean, I guess you're meaning this season. Um, I guess my favorite from this season, I think the most intriguing is Sean and Aaliyah. They're both so unique and their stories are so in depth and such a.
Can you do the car machine?
Yes, before we leave, I'll do it. Okay, if y'all are good, I would do it. Can you kiss your chocolate mouth? I love you. Yum 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 yum.
No.
So me and my children do this thing. Hey, Lila, come here. So anytime my girls give me a kiss, there's an action that I do or a reaction that I do. So for Sarah, it's this one. Oh, yum 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 yum. Because her kisses are always so delicious. And this is Lila. Her reaction is this one.
So there is Matt showing off, his daddy side, the softer, less sexual, because that's all we see now is them playing a very sexual role on our television screens. And yes, you heard me say playing a role because I believe they're all just playing roles just to be on TV. But going back to Amani, I just want to say I do feel bad for her. She lost her kitty. Okay. Apparently, she was traveling, and when she came back, her kitty was gone. The cat is less than a year old. She is devastated. She's been, expressing on her stories for days. We had a brief conversation about it because you guys know I'm a cat lover. As my cat Tiger is underneath my desk as we speak, licking my toes. Um, so I just reached out to her because I felt bad. So Amani still hasn't found her cat. My thoughts are with her, and I hope her cat does come back because we all know how cats are. Don't run away. They'll disappear for a week, and then they'll come back when they're hungry, and they always find it. They find themselves their way home. So I'm hoping that'll be the case for her cat. Anyway, moving on. We have Greg and Joan. Okay, Greg with sourdough bread and chocolate chip cookies. And I'm still trying to coordinate an order with him. And we have Joan. She had the line of last episode. How many Johns do you have? Because yeah, He's Italian. He knows a bunch of Johns. There's probably 20 Johns in his family alone. So, moving on, we have Aaliyah and Sean. Aaliyah and Faith will be doing a collab on they'll be doing a special live on Transgender Day of Visibility. Let's celebrate strength, resilience, and visibility together. Don't miss this special live event where we'll connect across different time zones. So it's going to happen Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Los Angeles time, 9 p.m. Brazil time, and 8 a.m. Manila time. So there you go. So I'm looking forward to this collab. I'm gonna, put a reminder on to catch this live. So we shall see. I'm moving on. The cast was already in New York filming the tell all. How do I know this? Okay, check this out. So first we have Aaliyah, and Aaliyah was hanging out with Nikki. Okay. Then we have Aaliyah again, the Louis Vuitton store is in New York. Come on, guys. I fucking know this. And then we have Starmani and Matt, the street that they're posing on, definitely New York. And then this totally fucking gives this away. Sarpa and Shekinah happened to be visiting New York this past weekend. They went to the Empire State Building. They did all the sites. They happened to be visiting Shekinah's sister. Damn. So yeah. So basically the tell all filmed this past weekend, which let me look up the date so we can remember this. So the tell all filmed the weekend of March 21st through March 23rd, 2025 in New York City. And we shall see what the shit show is a couple of months from now. So moving on. This comment, Susu, cracks me up because I was just about to get into Sheen Shekinah. I like that. Sheen Shakira. That shit is funny, funny. So Shekinah did a question and answer session. So basically, she wants everyone to know that she's not broke. Okay. She's shy when it comes to taking pictures and signing autographs in public. Okay. Um, let's see. What else did she say? She buys a lot of food from Trader Joe's, right? That can be heated in the air fryer or microwave, or like fresh foods like salads. So that's how she survives living in her apartment without cooking. Okay. Interesting. That's all I have to say. So, moving on, she goes on to say, um, someone asked her, why did you bring Sarper to the US with your living situation? Do you think that's okay? So she replies, I was in Turkey when I got approved for a visa. I had no time or money saved to move into a bigger place before he arrived. And why is that my responsibility? If my man wants us to get a bigger place when he moves to the US, then he will provide for that. Okay, girl. Um, it just sounds like you are just unprepared. And you were just unprepared for Sarper because you were just so focused on yourself and him getting the visa, because that was basically end game to your relationship that is in the beginning stages. She keeps saying their relationship is in the beginning stages, but they've been on our TV for like, I don't know, 5, 6 seasons now. Like, please. So you weren't prepared. That's what it comes down to. So Sarper, on the other hand, finally reunited with his parents. I could bet my right arm that this is Los Angeles airport. Okay. Sarper pulls up, picks up his parents. They're so happy, they're crying. It was a great scene. So moving on, we have the last resort shit show. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Give me a second. I dropped my lighter and I need to light my joint for this one. So, no matter how many cute selfies the cast tries to post, showing them as, a big supportive group, we have Rob and Brandon and Gino, and we have Florian with Julia, Brandon, Stacy, and Rob. And, lawyer Kelsey is there too. And Dr. James is even wearing um Kelsey, one of those Kelsey is my lawyer shirts. I'm starting to feel left out. All of these cast members are wearing these Kelsey is my lawyer shirts. I mean, even though she isn't mine, maybe I could get one. I mean, is she Dr. James's lawyer? Why does Dr. James need a immigration lawyer? I get Natalie and Jasmine, but I mean, so if everybody gets to wear these shirts, why can't I get one? Just saying. So, moving on, Jasmine and her immigration attorney, Kelsey, twinning here in their cute pink dresses. Jasmine gets her stepson, Wanse, um, a cake that looks like a animal cell. So she says Wanse has a speech about the animal cell. So he asked me to order an animal cell look like cake to share with his classmates at the end of the presentation. He better get an A. Oh, Jazzy, you're such a good mom. Can you hear the sarcasm dripping from my voice? You are such a good mom, Jazzy. Oh my goodness. So, the reason why I say Jazzy strikes again is because whenever you try to speak out against her or her narrative, she does disgusting things like this. Okay, she will try to humiliate you, embarrass you, and drag you through the dirt. And how do I know this? How do I know this? Because she's done it time and time again. Okay, um, to Gino, to Uncle Marco, Gino's sister, um, and now she's doing it to Rob because, as you guys all saw in that commercial for the part one of the last resort tell all, well, I'm going to get into all that in a second. Okay, I'm babbling a little bit. So, Jasmine put that up on TikTok today and she quickly deleted it. I want to give a shout out to my friend Wet Sock. If you guys don't follow him here on YouTube, please do. Just type in Wet Sock and follow him. He managed to catch these screenshots because Jasmine posted and did the post and quickly and delete. So she posted an old picture of Rob from a corn site. Okay, I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. So Rob used to provide some adult entertainment pictures for gay men on a corn site back in 2017. Now, Jasmine decided that she was going to slap one of these pictures up. Okay, there's been about 3 or 4 pictures of them leaked, floating around on the internet. And like Jasmine says, if it's on the internet, you could put it out there. We're going to get into that in a second. So she decided to put that up there because she's really pissed that now this clip of Rob calling her a whore at the tell-all is circulating and it's picking up speed. So anyway, she posted that picture and then she goes on to comment, okay? Because she always has to have the last word. So someone said, laughing my fucking ass off, why? And she replies, because he claims he was faithful and didn't have intimacy for months with anyone while he was offering his, quote, services for money behind Sophie's back. The audacity. Oh my goodness. The audacity. Now, where is she getting this from? The audacity. Sophie drew this out a couple of weeks ago because I'm sorry, Sophie knows that she still looks like a whiny brat. Last resort has ended. We have gotten to the commitment ceremony, and my opinion of Sophie has not changed. She is still a whiny brat. She needs to grow the fuck up. Yes, I understand childhood trauma. I get it. I've had childhood trauma. A lot of people I know have had serious childhood trauma. I get it. Your mother was an addict. It really sucked growing up. I know, Sophie. Okay. It was really hard. But you need to put on your big girl panties and stop acting like a fucking child. And this is why she has me blocked. But anyway, Sophie threw this out there a couple of weeks ago that allegedly Rob, had sexual relations with a man during their marriage and she was going to post receipts. Dee, nee, 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 dee, nee, nee. I'm still waiting for those receipts. So, Jasmine is basing this off of a comment that Sophie threw out there to drag Rob through the mud. She learned from the best. Queen of social media, Jasmine. 99 billion people follow her and have eyes on her social media every month. Remember, she brags about her numbers constantly. Um, Sophie's just selling her waist trainers now. Okay, even though Rob is such a horrible person and they had such a horrible marriage, what did she post on the last night on the finale? A picture of her and Rob smiling. Yeah, okay, I get it. So, anyway, now, like I said about these pics about Rob. Now, if you guys can see, you might have to pause and zoom in. Okay, this is a site where gay men talk about um adult entertainers and their OnlyFans and where to find content. So back in 2017, December 24th, 2017, someone asked, does anyone have anything on Rob Warren? He is friends with Flashman Wade and he has an OnlyFans account. Then this person asked again, July 28th, 2018. Anything. So someone replied on May 23rd, 2020. I follow him, but he doesn't actually post anything good other than bad ass photos. Someone else says, not worth it, don't waste the money. Now we're back in 2020, way before the 90 Day Fiance, Jazzy. Way before Rob appeared on 90 Day Fiance with Sophie. Just saying, okay? This was his side hustle back in 2017. What's your excuse? We're going to get into that for in a second. So, anyway, so back in 2020, someone asked, he is selling nudes, just bought two hot ass pictures and he shows. And then back in 2024, someone says that's all there is was. I don't know if it was the three pictures that got leaked or what, but his OnlyFans page was short lived and now wiped clean. He works a regular job, living a regular life. Just follow his IG and hope he makes a return one day. But as of now, his content has been scrubbed. Now, this is all dating back from 2017 to 2024 when Rob was appearing on 90 Day Fiance. Okay, so it looks like that he stopped around 2018, 2019, and 2020. Somebody was able to buy some of the pics that were on there, but it doesn't look like he was actively posting. Okay, so like I said, why is Jasmine doing all this? Why does she decide to post a picture that Rob had on his OnlyFans account back in 2017? Because of this scene that we're going to see on the tell all next week. And all I have to say is duck Rob, duck. Okay, and Rob even confirms it here. So check this out. He took to his stories and he says, man or woman, the only slap I'll ever accept and not try to avoid or defend would be from my mom or my woman. I'll take that slap and it wouldn't faze me one bit. I've been slapped by an ex while talking and didn't even stop talking, and she hated that I had zero reaction. But what I'll never do is sit back and let anyone else come at me aggressively with intent to harm me and not at least brace myself, especially if I'm sitting down. I'm going to stand up to prepare for the conflict, especially if she's wielding a 6-inch heel over her head, looking like she wants to kill me. Just remember where you heard about all of this first, okay? Because I reported that Jasmine was going to hit Rob with her shoe, or actually hit Rob with her shoe, back in January when the tell all was first recorded, when it was first filmed. So just remember, just saying. So, anyway. So Rob goes on to say the people reaching out mad that I stood up to a pregnant woman like I would hit her. I would never hit her, but avoiding assault is my right as a human being. Stop trying to normalize infidelity and assault. There has been a lot of name calling coming from certain people, but when I finally respond, it's okay to hit me. What's wrong with Joe? Then he says, hashtag, when keeping it real goes wrong. Some of this audience prefers fake people. Well, I'm not the kind of man that plays fake games. And if you're faking in my face, I'm going to call it out. Shouldn't have ever, shouldn't have ever brought that shit around me. Rant over. Okay. Now, from Rob's first season, I wasn't a fan of his. Okay. But then I really started to see what he was dealing with Sophie and Claire, and then all the off screen shit that he was dealing with Sophie and Claire. And I think Rob is a good friend, and he will basically shank anybody for a friend, and he considers Gino to be his friend. And see what Jasmine did to Gino? Totally played him, not only privately, but for all of America and God knows how many countries 90 Day Fiance airs in. I mean, Gino has been embarrassed, humiliated, dragged through the mud on TV, off screen. And when Jasmine comes, just strolling into the tell all, okay, nice and big and pregnant, Rob fucking lost it. And I don't blame him one bit, okay? So, like I said, why did Jasmine decide to put up one of Rob's old OnlyFans pictures? Because if you're not kissing her pregnant ass, I'm sorry, her pregnant upside down ass, um, she wants to drag you through the dirt and humiliate you. Remember when she put this picture up of Gino and quickly deleted it? Another one of Jazzy's famous moves, okay? So, what did she want to do there? Humiliate Gino. Okay, what does she try to do here? Humiliate and drag Gino, his sister, and his family through the mud. Okay, according to her, no, his brother and sister-in-law weren't mad at her that she couldn't make it to their her first Christmas Eve in the States. She couldn't make it to their house because she was doing cameos. They understood because that was the only way that she could make money. And she throws out a lot of allegations out here, going towards Gino. She put up these text messages between her and her sister-in-law. Her sister-in-law doesn't sound mad at all, but you know something? Other family members, from what I understand, word on the street, were not happy at all. They went out of their way to order vegan food and special dishes for her. And the fact that Jasmine just decided a couple of hours before the whole thing was going to happen that she couldn't show up because she needed to finish her cameos and stuff really didn't sit well with a bunch of the family members because they really wanted to meet her. This is what I hear. Word on the street. Okay, guys? You know what I mean. They really wanted to meet her. They felt like that they bent over backwards to accommodate her, and their feelings were hurt. I mean, I don't know Lori, Gino's sister-in-law, but I have a feeling maybe she was just trying to be polite to Jasmine. Didn't want to curse around and say, listen, you fucking bitch. We bent over backwards to accommodate you for your first Christmas Eve in the States, and now you're not gonna show up. But she took the high road and she was diplomatic, which I could see that happening. Okay. I don't know if that was necessarily the case, but I could see that happening. So Jasmine just goes on and she's going to continuously drag Gino through the dirt because she has to deflect off of her. She has to deflect off the fact that she's pregnant by her side piece. I mean, that's what it comes down to, it plain and simple. So, Jasmine, you want to humiliate, embarrass, put somebody's old OnlyFans pictures up. You say if you Google it on the internet, and it comes up, it's okay. Listen, Google Jasmine 90-day fiance nudes, and this is one of them that comes up. So I guess it's okay to post things like this, Jazzy, right? Just saying. And I just want to say, okay, I'm going to go on. I'm not going to keep her up on my screen. The hypocritical comments from female cast members, okay, and other females about how this is okay for Jasmine to do because Gino wasn't fucking her. So let me ask you a question. Would it be okay for Brandon to get a side chick pregnant because Julia doesn't want to have another baby and Julia cheated on him? And Julia lied to him about her parents, about wanting her parents to come to the US. So Brandon decided to go out and get a side chick pregnant. Would we be all like, oh my goodness, congratulations, Brandon. Congratulations, Brandon, side chick. I give them a whole TLC photo shoot like Jazzy and Matt did? No fucking way. You and I both know he will be torn from sea to shining sea. If Gino did it, if Gino cheated on Jasmine and got a side chick pregnant, oh, forget it. Or we were here, oh my goodness, he couldn't fuck Jasmine, but he fucked his side chick and got his side chick pregnant. So why is it okay for Jasmine? Why? Asking for myself because it's really pissing me off. As a woman, as a married woman, as a mother, as a wife, it is pissing me the fuck off. Maybe I'm just old. Maybe I just live by an old moral standard that doesn't exist anymore. But it's really pissing me the fuck off. So Jasmine is insisting, that the rumors that she was pregnant at the resort are totally false. Of course, they are. The Last Resort filmed in February to March of 2024. I mean, she would have to be having the longest pregnancy ever. And she even admits here that the tell all was filmed at the end of January. So when I started babbling at the end of January about how she was going to hit Rob with her shoe, it wasn't because of this. Just saying. So, Uncle Marco appeared on my channel the other night and he spilled some tea. If you haven't checked out the full interview, please do. But I'm going to share two clips that are very insightful to Jazzy and her relationship with Gino's family. Okay, so let me share this with you guys. I had so much fun. Yes, the interview was a little bit of a hot mess between audio difficulties. Uncle Marco can't hear very well, but I had a lot of fucking fun. So, actually, I wanted to bring this up before we talk about Uncle Marco. Okay? It is so funny how Jasmine has her panties in a twist because Rob called her a whore. But when she filmed The Last Resort in November of 2024, and Jasmine just said in this last comment, let me go back here. Sorry, guys, with my little technical things here. Okay. She says that she is in her third trimester and getting close to meeting her baby. So in November of 2024, when she filmed The Single Life with Matt, in this little clip, as you guys are going to see right now, again, why is it okay for her to call the woman that Gino was dating a whore? But all she was doing was simply going out on a date with Gino while you are pregnant with your side piece's baby, even in this clip, because this was filmed in November 2024. So check this out. Matt's right there walking out behind her in the khaki pants and the ugly shirt.
Gino, 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 Gino.
So I don't get it. Why is it okay for Jazzy to call this woman who is simply going out on a date with Gino? Okay. I mean, like, she was already pregnant with Matt's baby during that scene. And she's calling Gino's date a whore? Okay. Anyway, sounds like somebody could dish it out but can't take it. So let's get on to Uncle Marco and his tea.
She was pretty open to just about anything, you know, because she was having a rough time at home and adjusting. And, you know, Gina quit work there to escort her around when she got here. And he was working on paperwork. She's driving him nuts, I guess. I just stayed out of it. I didn't hear much, you know, about all that. I just try to keep in my own business and I don't ask, you know, with all that. But I know a lot of things that I can't say right now, but you know, one of these days, my dad used to say, it all comes out in the wash, right?
Yep, it does. Or what happens in the dark comes out in the light. So, what do you
Yes.
think about Jasmine putting the messages up from Gino's sister Lisa?
Oh yeah, right.
It wasn't really nice.
She was just sticking up for her little brother. She ran that family after her mom died. That girl, you got to give her all kinds of credit. You got to love her to death.
That's
Hey, she had her, you know, little issues when she liked her stuff, but man, you know, that's what we do. We're thick as thieves, man. We're Palazzolo. We stick together. We're Sicilian Italians. What am I going to do? Abandon them? I mean, we were a lot closer back in the day when my grandpa and grandma were alive.
So there you go. Okay. Uncle Marco dropping the tea. You know, morals are not what they used to be. Family is not what it used to be. If you haven't checked out my full interview with him, please do. So now there's other cast members on Last Resort besides Gino and Jasmine and Rob and Sophie. We have Benny, okay, who is still jumping for joy that his marriage to Story is over. And we have Avi, who is so fucking adorable. Okay. So now moving on, like I said, Leslie, the immigration attorney, is everywhere. I'm sorry, is her name Kelsey or Leslie? Who? Give me 1 second, guys. I mean, here she is hanging out with Natalie. I'm sorry, Kelsey, the immigration attorney. Like I said, she's everywhere. And Natalie is playing tennis. Check this out. You know, I really wonder how Natalie is going to be able to stay in the States. I mean, her divorce with Mike is final. Josh is not going to be able to support her. So, first of all, with her like immigration status, her mother's immigration status, I really wonder about all this stuff now that her and Josh officially is broken up. Like, what's going to happen with that? You see, that is my question. I don't know how she's here legally. So I'm like, I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. So moving on. Um, sorry. Let's talk about Renee. You guys knew I was going to get to it eventually. Okay, so if you're wondering How I pulled off this interview, this is how. I woke up Tuesday morning and Renee was in my DM. And that's all she said. Okay? She said, "Good day. I have a few questions, please." So I messaged her back and we were having conversations all day long. Okay. And I just want to start off by saying, Renee, if you're listening to me right now, I'm going to say everything out of respect and concern for you. Okay. I don't mean to offend you. I don't mean to upset you in any way. So, like I said, Renee sent me a message Tuesday morning. We started conversating in the DMs. She was leaving me voice messages, sending me texts. Tuesday, I was running around with hubby all day doing errands. It was his last day off before he went back to work after vacation. And basically Renee's interview fell together very, very quickly. Okay. We started conversating in the morning, and as you guys saw by that evening, I had her up here live. So I just want to say that I wanted to give Renee an opportunity to tell her side. Okay. And I really don't mean to upset or offend her in any way. But I still believe from the bottom of my heart, after all my conversations with her, that she does need some type of mental health intervention, whether it be medication, therapy, whatever the case may be. Renee has had trauma, okay? And the trauma is manifesting itself in not such good ways. So I sat here, I interviewed her, and in the beginning, she seemed normal. Okay, she seemed normal because I'm used to dealing with, people that have a couple of screws loose, especially when you're in this business. A lot of the people that you deal with have a couple of screws loose. So, she was okay. And then she started unraveling in front of my very eyes. Okay, she called Cheaty the R word. She said that he was possessed. And I'm not going to give away the whole interview. Go check it out if you haven't already. But from the bottom of my heart, I believe that Renee's trauma has affected her more deeply than she realized, and it has manifested and deeply affecting her mental health. So I'm going to play a couple of clips from this interview, okay? So you guys could just get a taste. The first one is when I asked her about her her getting fired by TLC, because you guys know that's been floating around. Cheaty said that production had to step in because she, was threatening him, herself, production, like it was craziness. They had to get a psychologist in. According to Renee, none of this is true. So, first, this is her talking about how she fired production. Okay? She didn't get fired. She fired production. And I'm saying fired with air quotes. Okay? And I'm just going to let her explain it. I'm going to stop babbling. I'm going to let her explain it. So, here we go.
So that day specifically, I was getting Chitty into the taxi and he was getting ready to go with me. And meanwhile, the sister and her husband were kind of following behind, wondering like, how are we going to get Chitty back in the house? And Chitty wanted to go with me. He really did. So I got him in the taxi, and then his sister dragged him out and she's all, I promise you, Chitty, I'll take him over tomorrow. Okay, Chitty, I promise you. And she kept saying things like, I promise you. And then I was like, no, but when I was trying to get Chitty in the taxi driver who is working with production through a contract called production, and they said, Renee's trying to get Chitty in the car. And so he's all, well, if Renee gets him in the car, you're ordered to not leave. I was pissed because here I had production stopping me. He wanted to go. And there you have the sister and the husband stopping me on that side. So then I got on the phone. I was like, you and your people are fired. I was like, I'm sick of this. I was like, you've been making every single decision. I've made none. I was like, you and your people are fired. But it didn't faze them.
Okay, so this is how she fired production. But like she said, it didn't faze them. They were like, yeah, okay, whatever. And by the time she was done, you know, she decided to do her interview and everything was fine. So now, remember, in my interview with Chidi, we talked about the Emmanuel situation. Emmanuel is allegedly another blind Nigerian man that allegedly Renee had in the wings as basically a replacement for Chidi. In Chidi's words, and I'm going to put the link for both interviews in my description box, along with the one for Uncle Marco, in case you guys haven't seen them. In Chidi's version, okay, even though he told Renee that he wasn't going to have sex with her and they were going to sleep in separate bedrooms before she flew out to Nigeria, okay, when she got there and he told her again, she flipped the fuck out, called production, told production, I don't want to film with him and I want to film with Emmanuel. So this is Renee explaining the Emmanuel situation. Okay? So here we go. Renee explaining the Emmanuel situation.
the Emmanuel. See, along the way, Chitty always had friends or brothers or sisters always watching and watching me like a hawk. Like if somebody come over, Chitty want to know the name, and I thought it was because he was blind and trying to earn trust. So he have all his friends watching me, all his friends being friends with me. This specific friend, he had in one of his blind schools. They kind of meet through each other because they're like a group of get-togethers because they can't see. So I met him through there, and that's where Chitty, like I noticed that him and Chitty were friends.
It's when she says things like that, and then she's going to say something else about you might be blind, but I'm not. And just things like that, when they come out of her mouth, I just cringe. I'm like, girl.
I started talking about him, about Chitty, and he actually was over there talking about, oh, that's awful, because I was kind of complaining to this specific guy that I was already friends with, at the Emmanuel, and I was talking to him, and then I noticed that I was talking to him, Chitty was there at the same time, and I would tell Emmanuel, everything that Chitty would say and do. And like I said, the reason we were fighting was because at this point it was like too late. I'm already gonna fly up, but now it's getting ugly and everything's already set to go. So now I'm putting all my complaints on this Emmanuel guy, and he's like, oh, that's so messed up. And come to find out now that he's saying that, I was like, apparently Emmanuel got all hurt because what happened was before, like a week before I went up, thank God I don't shut up. I have all this evidence, but I was talking to production and I sent a picture of Emmanuel to the producer. And I said, if things go ugly, because I also posted proof of that, I was crying to the producers, afraid of things going ugly. And I said, please help me put a smile on my face. But I said, if things go ugly, I said, and Chitty acts like dumps me like that, I said, I still want to hang out. I want to go to the markets. I want to go everywhere. And thankfully, I knew somebody, which was Chitty's friend, to hang out with. And this guy kept saying, Chitty's trash, Chitty's this, Chitty's that. So he wanted me to hang out with him instead. And because I didn't hang out with him instead of Chitty, that's when they came out and got together and said this mess. But he's an embarrassment, because even at one point, I'll straight up tell everyone, even at one point, him as Chitty's friends, just like all the rest of Chitty's friends, have always tried to hit on me behind his back. They either steal his phone or they straight up hit on me. And this specific one, who can't see, was talking about, what a wonderful woman I am and how pretty my voice is. And then he scoots down to his little wanker. Fine. But that's what most of Chitty.
Yeah, she went there, guys.
Have in the past, I'm kind of used to that kind of stuff, because in the past Chitty would send his friends, and I thought at first he would be like testing me. Will she hit on him? I'm not as blind as you. I could see they're on your friends list, and I could.
You see what I mean, guys? Is when she says shit like this, I was cringing. I'm like, oh my God, Renee, you're not helping yourself, girl.
See, they're your friends. But since they're coming in and wanting to make friends with me, well, okay, I have nothing to hide. You know what I mean? But that's where he's getting it, because I didn't hang out with him, so he gets mad. But thank God I have that evidence.
Okay, so speaking of evidence, after this interview was uploaded and everything, Renee hit me up, okay, and she sent me more screenshots and more evidence from production that they actually wanted her at the tell-all. She wanted Chidi to do a lie detector test at the tell-all. So there's messages in there. I uploaded it here on YouTube as a short. So you guys want to go check it out and see, the screenshots there, please do. But once again, I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart. And this is coming from the daughter of a woman who had schizophrenia. Okay, my mom, who passed away in 2007, not only was she a deaf mute, but she also had schizophrenia. And during my childhood, was pretty much under control. She was on medication, but there were still signs like she was paranoid. She wouldn't let me go outside to play with the other kids. She was always afraid something was going to happen to me. I spent, my summer vacations at home and not playing outside and things like that. She wouldn't let me go out with friends to the movies, things that every teenager was doing at the time. I wasn't allowed to do because she was afraid something, would happen to me. But she was basically fine until she got cancer when I was in my 30s, and she received chemo and radiation, and then at that time her schizophrenia manifested itself in a way that I had never seen. And that includes hallucinations, hearing the voices, telling me about the voices, telling me that my father, who had passed away 10 years prior, was sitting at the kitchen table with Jesus Christ, and they were both protecting her. So, and she, who was a deaf mute, was hearing my father, hearing Jesus talk to her, hearing their voices. So, I just want to say, having this conversation with Renee kind of reminded me of having a conversation with my mother post chemo. Okay. Because like I said, before my mother had chemo, she was medicated and she was okay. So like I started talking to Renee and she seemed okay, but then she started unraveling. And I say this out of concern, okay? And I say this out of worry because if she really is a diagnosed schizophrenic, not medicated, I'm really, worried about her children because I know how it was as a daughter of a schizophrenic who was medicated. So, before I get emotional, that's all I'm going to say on the subject right now. I wish Renee the best. The interview was a trip. Okay. I felt like I was on the craziest universal roller coaster, but I got to hear both sides. And one thing I will give Renee is that she unblocked me and seeked me out. She blocked me like the first or second week of the season. We had a conversation about it. She explained why, and everything is good with us now. And I just want to say that I wish other cast members who have blocked me for no reason or because I happen to talk to their ex would unblock me and give me the opportunity to provide them a platform so they could tell their side. So I give Renee props for that. Moving on. Gross ass Lauren. He is disgusting. Okay. And I just want to say, motherfucker, they are your children. Okay. It gets under my skin how he's always referring to his children as his evil's ex-wife's kids. You are fucking disgusting. You know what he reminds me of? Alec Baldwin when he was divorced from Kim Basinger, that's her name, and that leaked voicemail to his then 13-year-old daughter when he called her a filthy little pig. I could see Lauren doing something like that. Not for nothing. That's just my opinion, okay? But I could see Lauren doing something like that. So, anyway, he is documenting everything that has happened on his social media, including the fact that he's caught up on child support and him and Faith broke up on February 18th at approximately 2025. I hope Faith stays the fuck away from him. I mean, just talking about him is. And speaking of creepy ass motherfuckers, creepy Kyle. So Kyle posted to his story that he is out of his contract and he is willing to spill some tea. So when I was making my videos about Kyle and stuff, he had told me that he would give me an interview when the season is over. Then he said, excuse me, that he'll give me an interview when he's out of contract. So I saw that he was out of contract and I messaged him. So I said, so what's up with an interview now that you're free from your contract? So he says, sure, delete those past posts removed for defamation, me, such as the one with Jen and the other ones, and happy to do interview and spill the tea. An interview directly with me will get much more attention and brand new. You will be getting lots of nice juicy tea. Plus, there will be more big updates in the future. So maybe in 6 months or a year, there is a big update. I could probably go on again if all good. The interview would be about the show only and sperm donation stuff only, but would be spilling tea. Okay, I'm going to be an asshole for a second. Kyle, do you really think I need your interview? I have interviews like Michael, Uncle Marco, Cheedy, Renee, and this is within just the past couple of months on my channel. Do you really think that you have scolding hot tea for me? It might be lukewarm, but it's not scalding hot. What are you going to spill? That you filmed for 12 hours a day, that the producers badgered you into saying things. No, listen, I want to talk to you about the sperm donation scandals that you're involved in and the women who say that you deceived and lied to them. And if you're wondering what he's talking about, my slanderous videos against him, this is an interview with Jen, one of his sperm recipients. Yeah. And I sat down with her about a year ago and she told me all about her experience with him. There is a bunch of things public. You just have to, like Jasmine says, if it's on the internet, it's fair game. All you have to do is just Google Kyle Gordy sperm donor. And there is a bunch of documentaries about him and his sick buddies. I mean, so, dude, really, what kind of tea do you have for me? I want to ask you the hard hitting questions. So, of course, you're a pussy and you don't want to come on my channel. It's all good. Anyway, moving on. Before I let you guys go, because whoa, this is turning into a long one tonight, I just have a couple of miscellaneous updates. So, James and Tata are back in Thailand. She's looking really happy hanging out with the monkeys. We all know that she's really happy when she goes, I'm sorry, not Thailand, Indonesia, when she goes home, so yeah. And we have Kalani and her hall pass Dallas, who is now her baby daddy. We have Zied. Was he or was he not caught cheating on Rebecca on 90 Days Diaries? We shall see. New season starts April 7th. And we have Miguel, okay, who's been kind of laying low. We only see his wife and his mother-in-law on Pillow Talk, but not so much him. So, Miguel. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm getting names totally wrong. Manuel, not Miguel. Holy shit. I apologize. Happy birthday to Cynthia. And Nikki Exotica, nobody wants to see you do your makeup on live. Just saying. We don't want to see you eat pickles. We don't want to see you do strange things with plastic eyeballs in your mouth. And definitely not do your makeup on live. Anna looks fucking great. She's using this weight loss app. Whatever she's doing is working for her. And I just want to say, okay, first of all, I heard word on the street, allegedly, E. Scott is putting together a task force to take down a bunch of accounts and channels like mine, Kibbles and Bits, for bullying 90-day cast members. Okay. Um, doesn't he bully 90-day cast members himself? I mean, didn't he make a video making fun of Jasmine? I mean, yet that's considered bullying, even though you guys know what I feel about Jasmine. And wasn't he picking on Michael and trying to start a fight with Michael on the behalf of his best friend, Angela? So I think E. Scott needs to think about what he's saying and task force. Yeah, okay. So in my last video, I made the grand announcement that he is supposedly having a baby. But you guys tell me what you think. I was having a conversation with one of my followers, and she thinks that this bump is way too big, okay? Because supposedly he got her pregnant in January. And he was just talking the other day about going to Dublin, Ireland in September for a matchmaking conference. Wouldn't that be around the time that your baby's due? Or like right after your baby's due? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. And Scott, if you're listening, this isn't bullying. This is just investigating and sniffing out bullshit. So I just want to say it is so funny how Jasmine went from having sex with another man who's not my husband. I don't know how we're going to do this to, oh my goodness, look at me. I am beautiful and pregnant. And don't you question it. So before I let you guys go, I just want to say, you know, I do smile a little bit when karma plays a visit to someone who so desperately needs it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching me. Thank you so much, Joan, for the generous super chat. I love you, girl. Thank you, everyone in the live chat. You guys keep it. I mean, you guys keep it kicking. Okay, that's all I have to say. Um, Thank you, everyone. Please like, subscribe. Double check that you are subscribed because YouTube likes to play games and they'll unsubscribe you without you realizing. Share my video with a friend or 10. And please consider joining my membership. I just uploaded a new membership video. My membership's only $5.99 a month. I think it's a really good value for the tea that you'll get from it. So thank you so much. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.